The aftermath of the coronavirus. We're not even close there, but I'm taking this video when the cases is about 500,000 cases around the world. We're not even close, but it will be interesting to see what's going to be the results after the coronavirus. For example, airlines, when will they be back on their feet? It might take a while until people are back to travel and people are flying back again. People will be somewhat reluctant to be inside a tube for many hours now. Many people will not go back to traveling as fast. When will the people be back to fly or cruise lines? When will people be back? When will be back on cruise lines? They will have to lower their prices significantly, maybe to draw some customers. Maybe some other ways. They have to figure out some very creative ways to attract customers. Because I can see why people will be, even when you will die off a little bit, people will not go out as fast or as they used to do before. I see some decrease demand for such services. We have travel, same idea, because there was also the problem that we had closing borders, canceling flights. That's caused some fear and some trauma among some people that would not want to get stuck abroad or on a cruise ship. So this whole things may prevent people from traveling. There's also the problem of locals and those destinations. They do not like tourists. Tourists are perceived in some way right now as people that bringing with them diseases, any other diseases, not only the COVID-19. So that also can be an issue in the future as of what they're going to do about it. Will they be as happy to get tourists, or they will be somewhat reluctant to get them in there? Another thing that could be a result of the coronavirus is interaction between people. Handshakes, how close people would get together, hugging and things like that. The coronavirus would have an impact on how people interact, especially in the month or months following the outbreak. How would that change society? Maybe diplomats or in big companies, committees and things like that would diminish, or not diminish, but they will stop using handshakes altogether. Could that be happening? I can see that, because they're from different countries and things like that. Another thing to consider. When will big events be back on the table? Because big events are like, for example, concerts, sports events. When will they be back? Because this is even more dangerous than just being in a restaurant or being in a classroom. This is thousands of people in the same place. It's much more dangerous. When will they be back to normal? Could be quite a few months more than the rest of the economy. Restaurants, I'm sure they will be back faster than most other things, but will more social distancing be required, especially if the virus is not going to be completely eradicated? Would that be a problem? Would people be reluctant again to go to restaurants or not? I can see also why people will like, oh, we haven't been in a restaurant for so long, let's go. But still, maybe people would be more interested in social distancing. They want to be sit next to someone so close. Another interesting thing is in human interaction is sneezing or being sick, coughing, things like that. How would that be perceived in the future? That's the main, I also predict that we're going to be some problems with that. So even after we don't have coronavirus at all, let's say we eradicate the coronavirus, I think everyone that sneeze or cough for quite a few months after that, people would still at least give them some looks, or maybe even tell them something like get like, are you sick? Or so get out of here. Or maybe if it's on a plane, get the back of the plane, things like that. Or wear a mask. I think the treatment sicker people will get would be different than what would they used to get before. Especially if we're gonna have the next year. What's gonna happen next year? When will we have the coronavirus next year again? Will we have a vaccine back on the table? It's interesting. Something is for sure is that people will gonna have trauma. That's the main idea here. People will gonna have trauma as a result, and we're gonna see some lingering effects on interactions between people, on some industries, and interaction between people. Next pandemic, we could also see faster panic. Toilet paper would be faster to go. Grains, all the products we're missing right now will be faster to go. Markets will be much more brutal in their response, I'm sure, because they will know, oh, it's going to be the same. Even minor outbreaks might be considered as major, and we're going to have some disturbance in some supply chains, and maybe markets will also react strongly to those news. And finally, one final thing is about the trade war. We totally forgot about the trade war, but I think this coronavirus only exaggerated the trade war, because we understood that manufacturing cannot go abroad, period. We've seen that masks, we don't have much manufacturing power in masks, and many ventilators. I don't know about ventilators, but maybe they have some, but less. Some manufacturing has to go back here, and it's not necessarily about manufacturing overseas, but we understood here that some things must be done here. We cannot allow this disturbance. We cannot allow China to close their borders or to have some virus, and we're gonna have a problem with supply chains. So I think that's only gonna exacerbate the problem here with our trade war. We totally forget about it, but it's lingering, it's boiling up there. And when we're gonna be done with the coronavirus, that's gonna be back on the table, big time. For where it's gonna go, I don't know, but I'm sure some manufacturing will be back in the US, for the better or worse. So there's some things to think about. I think we have quite a few months to go. Nothing is clear at the moment, but just some things to think. Thank you.